In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the different timeline tools in Shotcut. Let's start here on the right side with this microphone icon. It's called Record Audio. It's basically so you can do some voiceovers for your videos. This is how it works. Just place your playhead where you want the recording to start. Press the button and start talking. This is our vacation in Colorado at the lake. And this is our vacation in Los Angeles at the beach. Then you hit the button, stop the recording, it'll save it automatically. And let's see what it sounds like. This is our vacation in Colorado at the lake. And this is our vacation in Los Angeles at the beach. So pretty straightforward, that's pretty easy. Let me get rid of this audio track down here by right-clicking, Track Operations, Remove Track. Next, we have here the Zoom Timeline to Fit button. This works with the Zoom In and Zoom Out slider. So for example, you can zoom out, you can zoom in more. If you have a lot of clips and they don't all fit on your screen here, you press this button and it'll bring them all here to your screen. Let me zoom out a bit. So that's how that works. And here with the zoom slider, if you place your cursor there, you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Next, we have Ripple. Ripple works with Ripple All Tracks and Ripple Markers here. So let's start with Ripple. Let's say you forgot to put in your intro at the beginning of the project. So you turn Ripple on, bring in your intro to the beginning of the project, and it's going to move everything to the right side. Your lake image is still there and your beach image is still there. So let's undo that, see what it looks like if you turn off Ripple. Now if you try to bring it into the beginning of the project, it's going to just overwrite the bottom clip, basically blocking it, and you're going to be left with just the beach image. So let's undo that. Next, I'm going to show you what Ripple All Tracks does. But first I have to add some text titles here. I'm going to add another video track above this one. Just right click, Track Operations, Add Video Track. I'm going to bring in some text. Go up to this button up here called Generate. Shotcut just came up with this new upgrade for its software. So this button used to be called Open Other. Now it's called Generate. Just click on it. Go to Text, Text Rich, Open, drag and drop. Then we're going to add a title here, something simple like Lake. I'm going to change it to yellow. Let me change it to yellow. And I'm going to change the font to old newspaper types. And the size to about 131. Let's add a little fade in and a fade out. And this is what that looks like. Now let's add another title to this clip here. So let's copy this one. And there happens to be a copy button here on the timeline. So let's use it. Then we bring our playhead here and hit the paste button. There it is. Now we just change this to beach. It's going to keep the same color, font size. Now if we try to bring our intro clip into the beginning of the timeline of the project, let's turn on Ripple, bring it down, and it moves the clips to the right. The lake and the beach are to the right, but as you can see, the text did not move. So now lake is on the intro and the beach title is on the lake. Let's go back. Let's get rid of this. And now let's turn on Ripple All Tracks and try the same thing. Bring the intro into the beginning of the project. Now it moves everything the right way. The lake has its title and the beach has its title. That's what we want. There's also a button here called Markers. Create a marker. Like let's say you are right here Once the title pops up, let's say you want to bring in a sound effect or a voiceover or anything, you just hit this marker button. It's going to create a marker. It's like a reminder. If you right click on it, you hit edit, you can rename it to, let's say, sound effects. That means you want a sound effect there. You could change the color also. And if you want to add another one here, same thing. And these arrows here are so you can go from marker to marker. Let's get rid of the markers. But before we do, let me show you something else. This button here, ripple markers. We need to have ripple markers on. I'm going to get rid of this intro again. As you can see, the markers stayed right where they were. That's why you needed to have ripple markers on. Let me undo that. Now turn on ripple markers. And then let's get rid of this clip in the beginning. And now everything's scooted to the beginning. The markers are where they belong. The titles are where they belong. Perfect. Let's get rid of these markers by right clicking. Delete. Delete. Next, let's go with scrub while dragging. This one I do not know what it's for. I'm not gonna lie. I tried watching videos, asking AI what exactly this does. If you turn it on, you click on your clip here in the bottom, and if you move it around, the playhead is just gonna follow it. Sorry, I went to the wrong track, but the playhead just follows it. I don't know exactly what it does, so look it up if you want. I never use it anyway, so the one I do use is this magnet, this snap tool. That's when you want to bring another clip. If you want to bring another clip to your timeline next to another clip, you attach it, you bring it closer, and you're going to see a little magnetic effect. It's going to snap it into place. See that? If you turn it off, it's going to be hard to place it right where you need it to be. It's not going to snap. You're going to have to guess. Maybe you have a gap. Maybe you went too much over it. So just keep this one on. It's going to work. I use it all the time. I never disable it. These are the arrows I showed you for the markers. This is a marker button. And this is the split tool. This one, you can split your clip here. Make another split if you want. You can do it as many times as you want. I use it all the time, but I use the shortcut, the keyboard shortcut, the S on your keyboard. That will split it. Watch. Keyboard. There you go. Next up, we have the override button. All that means is that wherever your playhead is, let's put it right here. Well, let's bring it to this last clip, extend it, and then let's bring the playhead right here in the middle of it. And with the clip selected on your playlist, hit the override button, and it's just going to be like dragging and dropping it onto your clip. It's going to steal the footage from the clip under it, even though you have ripple on. So I never use this anyway. Next up is lift. With this clip selected, the one I just brought down, if I don't want it, well, let me show you with the one here. The one here, if you don't want it anymore, you hit lift. It's going to get rid of it, but it's going to leave a gap. See, it leaves a gap here. So a lot of times I don't want that. Let me undo that. So lift is going to remove the clip and leave an empty space. Let me undo that. And this button next to it, the minus, it's gonna ripple delete. It's gonna delete this one, kind of like lift it, but it's gonna close the gap. It's gonna bring in the other clip on the right and snap it into place to the one on the left. So if you click on this button, it's pretty much ripple delete. Ripple delete is also here. If you right click, ripple delete, or X on your keyboard. Then we have the append button. The append button, let's say we want the intro here. You select the clip on the playlist. Bring your, well, the playhead, it doesn't matter where it's at. This plus button is going to append this clip to the end of your project. Yeah, that's all it does basically. I never use it. Let me undo that. Then we have here the generate button. It didn't used to be there before, but it's the same one as up here. You can choose text, so it's nice that they put it down here. We saw the copy and paste button already. The scissors is basically like a ripple delete. If we hit the scissors here, it's going to be like hitting the minus. It's going to cut the clip off and bring the other clip and attach it to the clip on the left. That's all that does. Next we have this timeline menu. If you click on it, you have the track operations. This is where you can add a video track, add an audio track, or remove a track. Those are the three I use all the time from here. Next, they're basically all keyboard shortcuts. Next we have the track height. This just makes your tracks shorter or taller, whatever you want. Next we have selection. The one I use is Control A, select all. That's basically all I use from here. But I don't even go up here, I just hit Control A on my keyboard. Next we have edit. There's some more keyboard shortcuts for paste, append, record audio, all that. View, it's the zoom shortcuts for the keyboard. The marker, same thing, you got the marker keyboard shortcuts. So you basically don't need any of this. I've seen people use this all the time, and I use it all the time. Just track operations, add video track, add audio track, and remove track. So that's it with that. Here you on the two tracks here we have V1. You can rename it to, let's call it main clips. Hit enter. This one I can name it text titles, just to keep your project organized. I like that feature. Here on the track header you have this eyeball. If you click on it, it's going to hide the lake image, all the images here on the track, on the bottom track. If you have music or sound, you can mute it. Hit this button and you can lock it, just so you won't accidentally move something. So that's all the timeline tools here in Shotcut. Feel free to play with it, experiment. But basically the ones I use mostly is I keep the magnet icon enabled all the time. The markers, I don't use them that much, but I do use ripple sometimes. Zoom, I use them all the time. The microphone I don't use. And I use the split at playhead. I use that one all the time. So play with all these buttons, experiment, and you'll learn more about them as you go along. So thank you for watching.